Welcome to the Alchemer Bright Talk webinar series. Our webinar is focused on helping businesses become more customer-centric by identifying the signals and actions that can drive higher satisfaction with customers and employees. Today we welcome Alchemer's Director of Enterprise Solutions, Vanessa Bagnato, and VP of Human Resources, Heather Rollins, to show you how our Employee Experience Solution works. You'll see how you can add an employee portal that offloads work from HR teams while giving employees the experience they want. A copy of this webinar is available on Bright Talk and on alchemer.com, so you can watch and refer to it. And now, here's Vanessa and Heather.
Hello, and thank you very much for joining us for a webinar and demo of our Employee Experience Solution. I'm Vanessa Bagnato, Director of Enterprise Solutions, and I'm pleased to be joined by Heather Rollins, Vice President of Human Resources at Alchemer. During our conversation today, we're going to discuss the business problem faced by many human resources team and how Heather and I approach the problem with our Employee Experience Solution. We will walk you through the design of the solution, and then I'll give you a demo so you can see the solution in action. And then afterwards, we'll talk about the solution package and open the conversation up with the Q&A. Let's face it, we all have a lot of responsibilities and a full plate. HR teams are no different from other departments within an organization. HR is responsible for the entirety of the employee experience, recruiting and retaining the very best people, developing meaningful benefits and rewards programs, providing professional development, and managing day-to-day employee needs. So their plates really are full. And when you add in the new demands of an elastic and heavily favored remote workforce, along with highly managed budgets and teams, building an employee-centric culture and a great place to work just got exponentially more difficult. Lastly, the management of day-to-day employee needs tends to be time-consuming and labor-intensive processes, and these processes lack automation and standardized workflows. Let's take a step back and talk about why employee experience is so important to organizations and businesses. The reasons why employee experience and engagement are important is because highly engaged teams result in 21% greater profitability. Highly engaged business units realize a 41% reduction in absenteeism and a 17% increase in productivity. In addition, according to Gallup, 53% of US workers are not engaged today. So HR teams need to focus on increasing employee engagement in order to support higher productivity, increase employee retention, and greater business results. I'm now going to ask Heather to jump in and talk about her thoughts on the importance of employee experience.
Thanks, Vanessa. Engagement is so important. When we have great teams made up of highly engaged employees, we're a stronger and more resilient organization. And resiliency has never been more important than it is today. People have a lot of choices when it comes to where they want to work. We all want to be part of a company that's growing because those are the organizations that can provide opportunities for advancement and professional development. They're the organizations that are investing in innovation and people rather than figuring out how to cut spending and headcount in uncertain times. Those opportunities and investments are what keep employees excited about coming to work, and it's what keeps them happy and focused and engaged on a day-to-day basis. And when we look at the data above, engaged employees result in greater profitability and higher productivity. When we don't provide a great employee experience, we end up spending more of our energy and focus on rebuilding teams because we've lost good people who became disengaged. So keep them engaged by asking for feedback regularly, taking action on that feedback, and streamlining the processes that cause employees to be distracted from their work and ultimately disengaged. Make things easy for your employees. Don't make them jump through hoops or fill out 10-page forms to make a simple change, whether it's an address update or a time-off request. Make it easy so they can focus on their important work. When they can spend their time and focus on the things that are helping to shape and grow the company, they are empowered and productive, and that's an engaged employee.
Now I'd like to talk about our own Alchemer approach to employee experience and how our own experiences help to shape the design of the solution we will soon be demonstrating and that we're making available to our customers. Heather, could you please talk about your approach to employee experience?
I'd be happy to. As an HR leader, creating a great place to work by improving the employee experience is at the heart of everything we do. It keeps employees engaged, productive, and loyal. It boosts productivity and enhances customer relationships. But our role and responsibilities as HR leaders must also align strategically with executive goals and support the growth of the business. We know that companies who invest in their employee experience see double the revenues and are 4 times as profitable compared to their less engaged counterparts. At Alchemer, the employee experience is at the core of everything we do. We constantly strive to improve our employee experience because we know that happy and engaged employees perform better, and that translates into a better experience for our customers and our growth as a company. Just like many other HR teams, we are challenged to deliver this experience while balancing our budget and resources.
Thanks, Heather. Now let's talk about some examples of how Heather and her team have taken action on employee engagement as a result of the solutions and assessments we put in place. Heather, can you please share some stories of how you've used our employee engagement assessments and the results that you got from those assessments?
Like a lot of organizations, we've had to make some pretty big changes recently in response to global circumstances outside our control. And while we've been able to shift to a 100% remote workforce in a very short time, it's meant that our daily interactions, whether it's at the water cooler, in conference rooms, or at lunch, have suddenly come to a screeching halt, or they've taken on a very different look and feel. Our daily lives have shifted dramatically, and it's become hard for a lot of people to focus on their work. So we knew right away that we would need to really step up our communication and help employees feel connected and safe in a very uncertain environment. So we started deploying a weekly pulse assessment that was intended to help us understand what our teams needed from us. And what we heard was that our employees wanted to know how others are feeling and wanted to know how our company was going to weather these times. They needed to hear from our leadership more often. So we changed our communication program to include a weekly fireside chat led by our CEO. In these chats, he talks about how he's feeling personally, what some of his new day-to-day struggles are, and he speaks openly about how our company is faring through these times. We also learned that feeling connected in ways other than just work-related is important. So we asked people what would help them feel connected on that level. And we heard some really fantastic ideas from people, and we started a few things from their ideas. We started a virtual book club and regular virtual game nights where the focus isn't on work. In an environment where we're so used to seeing each other at the water cooler or over lunch, these have replaced the personal interactions so many of us really miss, and it's allowed us to stay really connected. And now, as we're dipping our toes into how we will eventually return to our offices, we're using the pulse assessment to make sure we're reacting to people's concerns and addressing the increased challenges presented by the past few months. So these are examples of how we've reacted to a very specific scenario. We also use the pulse survey in conjunction with our annual core employee assessment. It allows us to quickly get a sense of how our employees feel about big initiatives we've rolled out and lets us quickly shift direction as needed. The key is to be able to gather feedback and make changes easily, and our solution lets me and my team do that.
Thanks so much for sharing those examples, Heather. For the next part of our conversation, I'm going to break the overview of the package solution into 2 sections, one about the surveys that support employee engagement and one about the employee portal. So let's start with employee engagement. Feedback is the backbone of any employee experience initiative. The employee experience solution is designed so that HR professionals can not only address individual employee feedback, but drive macro changes across the organization for all employees. We recommend checking employee engagement throughout the year. This allows businesses to benchmark key areas of engagement and to identify drivers of engagement and disengagement. Businesses should strive to make small changes every quarter and then macro changes throughout the year. We also recommend alternating between a main employee engagement survey and a pulse survey, which I'll be demonstrating. At the start of the year, you would send the employee engagement survey. This enables you to not only benchmark from the results, but to identify areas for quick improvements for the next 1 to 3 months. So, for example, if the feedback received showed employees didn't understand the benefits offered, HR could work to drive education on benefits. Then in the following 1 to 3 months, you would then pulse employees on a limited amount of questions from that core survey, and then ask questions about those improvements that were put in place. Then you repeat that process again, and by the end of the year, you are able to review the benchmarking questions and see the progress that has been made to employee experience. In addition, the data and feedback collected from these surveys will help HR teams understand how to manage your high performers, how to turn your B performers into A performers, what's working and what's not, areas of quick wins, and areas of investment. Now let's switch gears and focus on the day-to-day management of employees. We understand how employee requests can add up. It's all too easy to become inundated by emails, texts, phone calls from employees asking for everyday changes. These requests not only take time, but can lack the visibility and adequate tracking mechanisms needed to manage them properly. With the employee request portal, HR teams can centralize, standardize, and automate those common employee requests, such as a name change or time off requests. Each request has a workflow to direct the request to the right person, take action, and close the loop with the employee. The portal will save employee teams valuable time lost from handling common requests individually, all that back and forth communication, and manually having to track requests. So key features of the portal include a main portal where employees can access requests, 9 pre-configured requests, and the ability for you to add as many more requests as you need. And each request has a workflow and notification pre-configured. All of those can be modified, and workflows and notifications can be updated. These workflows will also come with case management and multiple levels of review and notifications. Pre-configured email notifications are included, as well as reporting, so you can truly monitor the status of cases. Let's walk through an example employee request workflow. If an employee wants to request a name change after getting married, they simply open the employee request portal and fill out the appropriate request. A customized workflow immediately routes the request to HR for approval and review. The workflow can be configured for one level of review, approval, or multiple if more than one person needs to see the request and give approval. Once approved, a notification is sent to the employee, automatically closing the loop. Additional notifications can also be set up. For example, if payroll and benefits administrators should be notified to make an update to the employee's record. All requests are consolidated within Alchemer's platform, and the data collected can integrate with HR systems you may already have in place. This facilitates better tracking and reporting so nothing falls through the cracks. Let's talk about how you can build your own employee experience program using our out-of-the-box solution. Now that you've heard Heather walk through the story behind the design of the solution and see the demo, you can see that we developed a solution that streamlines some of HR's most time-intensive tasks, allowing you to focus on employees and not on processing daily tasks. The key components of the solution package include the employee request portal, which is a centralized portal for employees to access and submit common HR requests, those 9 pre-configured employee requests, and the flexibility to modify those and add as many as you need. Pre-configured workflow for each request that can also be updated and modified. Workflows that include case management and multiple levels of review and approvals. And reporting to monitor the status of cases. The package includes those additional pre-configured surveys that help with assessing employee experience and engagement. And those include the core employee engagement survey, the employee engagement pulse, a manager assessment, the employee exit assessment, and the employee event registration. Reporting is included with every single survey. The package also includes Silver Customer Success Package. This includes components such as email and phone support, a platform orientation call, instructor-led application training on a topic of your choice, and access to Alchemer University. Alchemer University is a self-paced digital learning system that is actually integrated right into our Alchemer platform. And lastly, with our platform, you'll receive access to 2 additional templates that we release to support our customers with COVID-19 related surveys. We support the success of your employee experience solution by including up to 6 hours of professional services onboarding coaching time. Our professional services team designs and delivers a tailored onboarding approach for each customer, focusing on aligning program goals and outcomes to the solution configuration so you can ramp up quickly. This in turn enables you to launch your employee experience program in 30 days. Here you can see the high-level roadmap that you'll follow when working with our professional services team. We will work with you to align the configuration of the solution to your desired outcomes and internal processes. Everything is pre-configured, survey questions, workflows, the portal reports, so you can easily build upon what is provided, such as modifying questions or the related workflows. And by working with the professional services team and following their action items and onboarding timeline, you'll be able to launch your employee experience solution quickly. Before we move into our Q&A, let me quickly recap our conversation. It's no secret that highly engaged teams perform better, are more productive, and see less turnover than their less engaged counterparts. And this leads to better business outcomes. Yet human resources teams face an uphill battle as they try to juggle the many facets of employee experience with managed resources. The solution that we design and are making available to our customers addresses these common challenges. In turn, this allows you to focus on increasing engagement and improve employee experience to bring employees to the core of your business. These benefits are possible because of the automated and process-driven workflows that have been pre-configured using Alchemer's features and functionality. So if you're interested in learning more about our out-of-the-box employee experience solution or want to learn about our other package solutions, please visit alchemer.com to learn more.
Thank you for joining us today. If you'd like more information about Alchemer products and solutions, please visit us at www.alchemer.com. To provide feedback on our webinars or to share topics you'd like us to cover, please complete the form below. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on another webinar.